Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums, the Regenesis Talks, a LinkedIn Live episode 209. And the topic of discussion today is chapter 64, straight up or bust out. Startup or bust, what will you choose? Uh, to have this topic discussed, we have the honor of Mr. Thomas Welsh, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, and Mr. Sunil Kumar joining us today. Without further ado, let's bring our esteemed speaker to the podcast event. Hi Rajiv, hi Thomas, hi Sunil. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Over to you,
Prem.
Thomas.
Hello, Prem. Thank
Hi,
you.
Prem. Hi, Sunil. Hi, Rajiv. Nice to see you all and our friends and listeners on the outside. I guess we need to start with a kind of an eye-opener, really, which is, let's be real, I think startups still have a problem. Somewhere between 78% and 90% plus of startups are failing. Depends on whose numbers you read, which of those percentages you look at. But that's, I think, quite shocking. So really powerful, well-intended individuals, highly skilled often, get together, they begin a startup process, and they spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and invest a lot of their emotional selves in making something happen, and it fails. And here's what no one tells you about this. Failure isn't random. It's predictable. And what's actually inadvertently happening is those people that fail are actually using a process which is pretty much guaranteed to give them that failure. And that's how it's predictable. And I guess what we're offering today is a means for you to take different action that brings you a different results. And if you don't fix the problem, the fact that you're using a process that's pretty much guaranteed to give you a failure from the start, then right from the get-go, what we know as entropy, if you like, the deterioration of everything into chaos, creeps in and breaks everything down gradually, but surely, relentlessly, and presses on all the hard work that's going on inside the startup. And it's like you build in the fault lines and eventually the whole thing collapses. It would be like trying to build a wooden structure with saw cuts all the way through the load-bearing beam. So eventually, of course, it's going to collapse. And today, we'll be showing you how exactly you can build a startup right so you don't just maximize your chances of surviving, you actually maximize your chances of going way beyond that and actually thriving. And today, we'll cover three key themes which we know in Regenesis are absolutely essential. Number one, it's be a startup in the best way in the traditional sense. And the best way in the traditional sense is to build from zero with the right foundations. And Sunil will be helping us look at that. So unless you've got a logical progression in that first kind of category, you're not going to get there. So it's tough, but that's how it is. And the second thing that we know in Regenesis, you also need not only to build from the start out to the future, you need to build from the future back to the present. So you actually need to start as though you're a unicorn in your minds, figure out what that looks like when you have ultimate success, and actually come back from that future. And it's marrying the working backwards approach from the future to the present with the working from the present, from the start out to the future, that you get a much, much, much more powerful hybrid strategy. And then once you've got that locked in, you then need to work in a way that is generative, not accidentally, inadvertently destructive of your own process. So you need to generate and regenerate your success, and it needs to be built into the way you work. It's really easy to do, and that's what Regenesis is all about. It helps you stop the entropy before it starts. And Prem's going to have a look at that, and Rajiv's going to have a look at that future process where you go out to ultimate success and come back. By the end, our ambition for you is that you'll have a completely upgraded idea, and you'll know how to start, how to scale, and how to sustain your success, whether you're an early stage founder or a leader inside a growing organization. So I'm going to get off the stage right now, and I'm going to hand over to Sunil. Sunil, over to you. Can you get us going, please?
Thank you, Thomas. I think we are discussing very, very important topic today, that is startup. So, as Thomas has rightly said, that unfortunately 70 to 90% of startup fails. And the reason is quite obvious, that the homework has not got done. They have not started. Because, everybody is having the idea. A startup has become a buzzword. But having an idea doesn't mean that you have to go and you have to start the things. When you are thinking something to do and you are having some idea, the most important thing is that you have to validate on 4 parameters. The first one is your idea is having the market need or not. It is solving the bigger issues or not. The second question is this a scalable? The third question is it sustainable? And fourth, very, very important is that are you going to offer a differentiated offering? So that is basically different from others. If the answer of all these four are yes, then only you have to start working on it. I'm very pleased to share with you that I have mentored around 65 startups, and 80% of a startup has succeeded. The reason was quite obvious, that we have not done any shortcut on all those four what I have mentioned right now. So we have gone deep in detail. We understand that yes, this idea will solve the bigger problem. We have vetted it, and we have done the market survey. We understand, we have done the analysis that yet it is scalable. We have gone deep in detail and we found that it is sustainable, and then we have developed a differentiated product. The idea should not be new. The idea, whatever exists in the market, if you are confident that you will offer a differentiated product or differentiated offering, you can go with that. The example is Facebook. Facebook is not the first social networking startup. This is, I think, 17th or 18th. But the Facebook has succeeded. Other 17 we don't know even name. So that is the quite difference. At Regenesis, we ensure that we will handhold you and we will make you succeed. So there is no shortcut. There is a startup right. So you have to build the foundation, and that building the foundation should not be on sand. The foundation should be strong. So the first, after getting the answer of 4, we have to take 3, 4, 5 steps. Number 1, you have to validate that market need, whatever we are discussing. So if no one needs it, there is no point to discuss on it, no point to work on it. The second is, if the answer of all those 4 questions is yes, then in order to succeed, you must have a strong team. So you have to build a strong team. And believe me, building a strong team is not a joke. You must ensure that you are having expertise of all the area. There should be technical expertise, there should be marketing expertise, there should be expertise who understand the finances. So all those people should be, in your team, and you must ensure that all should get aligned and work for the same purpose. The third important is develop a MVP, minimum viable product. Why I'm talking regarding this, and this is very, very important. Sometimes we develop a very, very strong product, but that is not viable. That is not required. So ensure that you should overload the product. So launch, test, iterate, and ensure that whatever product you are developing, that is MVP, that is solving the customer's problem, and that is having the differentiation. The fourth, Create a sustainable business model. Revenue isn't optional, it is your lifeline. So if you are working on it, you should have the proper plan that what will be the revenue model and what will be the full, what will be the financial flow that must met. Raise capital strategically. This is again very very important for the startups. So investors traction is important. This is not a theory. When you're going and meeting the person for the fund, they see that how passionate you are about this idea. And if they find the answer of all those four, that your idea is scalable, your idea is sustainable, and you're passionate, there are a lot of people who are ready to give money. And believe me, we have done it and we can handhold it and we will ensure that you will get it. The fourth, the next important point is focus on customer acquisition and retention. So your product is useless without customers. So must ensure that you should acquire the customer, you should retain the customer, you get references, and you can grow your business in that way. You should value your customer. You understand the customer need, and at the same time their feedback is always important for you. If you master these steps, you increase your odds of success exponentially. Rajiv, let's talk about working backward from success. Over to you. Rajiv, I think you are mute.
I have, yeah, I think I was muted in the back. Okay, all right. So, thank you very much, Sunil, for that very insightful discussion on these startups. I also dabble with lots of them, and I have invested also in few of these startups. I understand the pain and the struggle which goes in setting up a startup. But what I'm going to talk about is, you know, uh, when you are a unicorn or you want to be a unicorn, which is, of course, having a valuation of more than 1 billion US dollars, uh, you have to work backwards from your success. So when I say work backward, means people are always focusing on how to achieve these numbers, how to achieve the success, how to benchmark the best practices. But the real trick lies in how you actually work backwards for your ultimate success. How minutely you plan your strategies, how minutely you actually work on making sure that you are achieving success. So one, of course, is that when you are defining your vision, you have to be very clear how you are going to define the vision and achieve that vision in a very systematic way. Of course, you need to understand the customers who are working for you, or who are actually probable customers for you, and how those guys are going to take things forward from your business, and how they are going to perceive you. That is a very very important aspect. And as Sunil also mentioned, the you must have the minimum viable product, and the scalability, and how you are uh, catalyzing your success. That is the key. So you must focus on so let us imagine you are already built a unicorn, or you are actually working towards it. So how you catalyze your success, that is something which everybody is looking at. So be very clear on making your business plan, making your systematic approach and towards the growth, and also how you maximize your flow of money, flow of capital, and flow of business volume, and how you actually move forward in making your team strong enough to fight the competition and fight the market. So that is what we specialize in sharing at Regenesis, that how you actually optimize the flow and maximize the flow, so that the growth journey is very, very smooth, and you grow at the pace at which you really want to grow. The other important aspect is how you keep your people aligned. So, yeah, because when you are in the growth stage, sometimes your competitors are trying to break away your best people. So, how you are actually, keeping your people together, how you are keeping them motivated, how you are actually making sure that they don't leave you in between your journey, and thereby making your pace of growth slow down. So that is one area where you need to actually focus on how to keep your, because at the end of the day it is people also drive the business to a lot of extent, especially in the service industry or service businesses. And uh, the other important aspect is Regenesis helps you build all these three important aspects: the success, the maximization of flow, and how you keep your people aligned. And it comes into the DNA of your company, and it starts from day one. So, as I said, that we must work backwards to make sure that we achieve all these results in a very positive way. That's what we offer you. That is what the know-how we actually share with you and your leadership team. And so it's not just about the fast growth, it is about sustainable, repeatable, and profitable growth. Because at the end of the day, if you are profitable, if you are growing at the right pace, only then you can become a unicorn. So have that vision in mind, that you have to become a unicorn, and start working backwards on that. And I would pass it on to Prem to tell us how to generate and regenerate success, because I think that is the key factor. Over to you, Prem.
Thanks, Rajiv. It was more important that how we look at aligning. You have spoke about how being a unicorn work backwards for success, that we heard from you, and Sunil has spoken how to build zero out on being a startup. So let me look at how do we generate and regenerate success from the start, right? So the biggest problem that we see, or the reason that we see startups crashes and burn, they never tackle entropy. That's the major challenge that we have seen, and this is a reason where most of the startups fail or crash or burn out. So that's where what we are saying at Regenesis is you Regenesis ensures that you always renew, regenerate, and unlock new growth. That possibilities is what Regenesis talks about, and how we can shape that is a session that we look at integrating Regenesis thinking at every growth point. Align your people to look at how they can maximize flow, be a catalyst in the expansion, and see how things can change at every point, growth point that they find there is a challenge, right? So that growth points is what we bring up, and tackling entropy at an early stage where every organization builds hidden friction, and Regenesis systematically eliminates such issues, and we speak on how the system can bring up more growth to you, how we can balance it, regenerate, and renew, with the growth being a constant piece of work that we can work on. How do you use and structure an interactive approach where that's one thing that startups fail when they guess. Success happens when you follow a proven process of 12-step framework, which Regenesis talks about, and that process is a day-to-day step, and it does not happen overnight. That's a process that you'll have to build as a framework, and that is part what we are talking about on the Regenesis growth part. Join the network, that holds you up as a mirror, right? The Regenesis ecosystem guides you, supports you, holds you, and you be hold accountability on it. You don't have to guess at success. You just have to plug into a proven system. The Thomas Rajiv, I will now show you how you take action. Will show you now how to take the action. Over to you, Thomas.
Great. Thank you, Prem. Thank you, Rajiv, and thank you, Sunil. I think the three components there. So, number one, build logically from the present moment out. Number two, go out to the future. Build a picture in your mind of it's as though you have a timeline stretching out in front of you, and you walk out to the point where your startup has actually become a unicorn. So what has actually happened? Build a picture in your mind, a rich picture in detail of what's actually happened, exactly as Rajiv was describing, so that you can look back at the journey you must have come along and actually see what you did in the key areas. And then finally, to avoid the entropy crippling your organization, really harming your organization going forwards, because it's there all the time. In all of our lives, we have the tendency to entropy. It's the natural order of the universe. Things that we structure, they age, they go wrong, they get bad habits. There's all sorts of ways in which they fall apart. And what Prem is describing is you need a structure where you visit all of the key pots where your growth occurs, and you make sure it's in optimum functional health. So these are all key areas. So this is not just another training program. This is much more than just another training program. It's a structured, iterative transformation. And it's important that it's iterative. So you go there and you go again and again and again, and just make sure you keep sharpening it, because entropy never gives up. It's always there and doing all the good things you've done. And sometimes that's simply because the world moved on and your arrangements haven't. So we want Regenesis to be in every organization. We've spotted a massive problem where entropy is unraveling all the great things that we do all the time. And there are many things you can do in addition to being a great organization, which add even more extra results and extra growth and extra salary to the people who unlock these resources as well. So if you're ready to claim yours, just let us know. Just contact us now. We are distributing the phase one. We're in phase one distribution of the Regenesis program. Our mission is to get it to every manager, every executive, every director, and every organization of every kind in every sector, because this has application everywhere, simply because entropy is everywhere and it's costing people and organizations massively every single day. So if you're a startup and you're out there, just give us a shout. We want to speak to you. We'd love to invite you to one of our programs. Just come and have a look, see how it works. Rajiv, do you want to add to that?
And you want to get yours early, yes, that's a small investment, but it's not about price which we are talking about. It's about your commitment to your own success. We have successfully worked with many entrepreneurs, and this is the kind of money we are offering for bringing these Regenesis services in India is really very minuscule as compared to what we charge internationally. So I would urge all of you, do think about it, how much you want to invest in yourself, and if you are not, why should we? That is the kind of thought process we come from. So we are actually teaming up, all Thomas, myself, Sunil, and Prem. We are coming with a very clear purpose that we want to offer Regenesis to all of you, and we have a very proven backup to support our conviction that this is definitely going to make your startup a unicorn. And if you start using Regenesis, things will become much easier for you and you will be able to grow in a much faster pace. So that's our promise to you. And let me tell you, once you know how much we are charging for this 1 year program, mind you, it's 1 year. So we are running 3 sessions of 2 hours each every month, and then it's followed by a 1 year support, which is quite a lot at the price which we are offering. So over to you, Sunil.
And Thomas, I think you have explained everything. I will just say that, just add basically, we basically, this program we are running at cost only because we are in phase one of distribution. Later, the price will rise as the distribution moves beyond the founder's team. So, if you want in while, we are keeping it cost based. This is your moment, and don't miss this opportunity because we are not here to make money. We are here to, to spread and help as much as we can. But the two important aspect is, as Rajiv has also explained, the first is you should have the conviction that yes, I am determined that I will take my business at next level. Then only you should join. And second, this is a very interactive and we have to work together. So this is a hand holding program. This is not a theory what we will explain. You have to work together and you have to get help at every stage and you will be available. So I think that's all from my side. Over to Thomas.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Sunil and Rajiv. Basically, what we're saying is you've got two absolutely brilliant options. And as Rajiv said, you won't believe the price. So for a whole year's support, implementation support, where you can get us every week, for Q&As, where you get every month, you get a deep dive masterclass workshop. And at the front end, you get 3 quick starts workshops. Now, all of that whole year's development program, we've currently put in out there for just 12,500 rupees. I mean, it's almost unbelievable, but it is true. And I've got a sneaking suspicion if you contact my colleagues, Sunil or Prem or Rajiv, I've got an idea they'll give you an additional discount on that. It's unbelievable, but I think they do. I think they've got a coupon that they use to attract colleagues and people that are connected with them. So if you're not in that connection right now, do it straight away. And really, that's ready for those of you who are ready to commit to and unlock real measurable growth in your organization. And if you're a career manager looking to level up, and that's also salary growth. And if that's not enough, if that's not good enough, for those of you that are a bit more nervous, and we know that out there, we have also what we call prior commitment access, which is we'll give the right ones of you that convince us that you're really interested in your own growth and that of your organization, we'll give you complimentary access. Unbelievable though that is, but there we go. For the first 3 workshops. So this is for those serious about change, but who want to experience the impact or want to understand how it will impact them before they invest. And you'll still want to go for the year's support, I'm sure, when you see it. But if you've got to see it before you believe it, well, come on down and talk to one of us. And as I say, it's there to do. Either way, if you are ready to grow and your organization wants to grow and you want it to grow, we're ready to help. So, and if that is not enough, if you contact Rajiv, you can join his early sneak peek workshop, and it's about unlocking your potential. So if you want that as well, contact Rajiv and get in the queue here. So it's a sneak peek into the Regenesis workshop, so you can actually take your first step right now, today. So hopefully, see you inside Regenesis. This is going to be for everybody in the long term, where we're helping you unlock your latent potential, and that becomes your route to extra real success. However brilliantly you're doing now, when you understand this, you'll see why this adds the extra. And it's simply by eliminating that entropy. That's the key. And if you don't understand what all that means, come on down. There's every reason to come. So that's enough from me. Prem, over to you to see us out the door, please.
Thanks, Thomas. Indeed, this is a discussion that we've been having for quite some time now. And what we are saying is we are running this program in this month, and we would urge you to join us. The link is scrolling down the screen there. This is the link that we have for the program, and each of us, Rajiv, Sunil, and Thomas, have their own where you can reach them anytime. The links for reaching them are as in the screen down, which you can reach them on LinkedIn. We are contactable. Our LinkedIn profiles are listed here. You can connect with any of us, and we can look at bringing up these pointers to you. And with this, I think what we are saying is we would like to say that this is a program that is we are focusing more and more in India, and we want to bring this 12-step framework that can change organizations and oneself to the next levels of leadership and growth in your careers. That's what we look at in these programs, and this has been proven. And as Rajiv, Thomas, and Sunil have told this, have spoken about this, we have been talking to many organizations, and this is how things are going on and shaping up the India program at the moment. And we, with this, we would like to thank you people who have joined the session today, and it's been great having you people here on this. And we would like you to attend and engage for further with the Regenesis and take the next step with this. I think this is one podcast that we are trying to see. We have done the 65th episode as on today, and we are talking more how leaders and others can benefit with these programs, and continuously talking. Do look at our Regenesis podcasts, which are predominantly on Wednesdays. And our next topic that we are talking about is HR value magic: create master managers and elevate HRs, which will be next week on the 19th of February, which is again a Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Do follow us and look at us these sessions. We have streamed these sessions to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and hope you found this discussion valuable. And thanks for joining us. Our podcast series for this week continues with tomorrow uh, being a session where we talk about the 210th episode, which is Art of Value Selling, Winning Competitive B2B Negotiations like a Pro, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Looking forward to see you again. Thanks for joining us today. And Thomas, Rajiv, Sunil, thank you for joining us, and we'll conclude the session.
Thank you. Thank you, Prem.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prem.